Okay, why is my camera not popping up? That's weird. Overlay, camera overlay. That's interesting. Well, my camera's not coming up. All right, I'm gonna go to you, Kia, real quick. I'm gonna see what's going on with my camera. Sure, I think I can be heard right now, but it can't be seen. I don't know why that is. So I'm going to you. All right, go ahead.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Life Full Circle Radio. It is your girl, Kia, and we are finally back for another Wednesday. It has been a minute since we've talked to you. You know, we have to wrap up the summer with all the kids and sports and getting them back in school. But we are back, and we will do our best to stay on a regular schedule. We have a ton of things that we want to talk about tonight. You know, everything from the WNBA and Enes Kanter Freedom and his bogus protest. We also want to talk midterm elections. We got to talk Stephen A. Smith and the NABJ and their whole going back and forth with them giving him a thumbs down award, which is funny. And he thinks it's not deserved, and it's very, very, very much well deserved. And even the weirdest story is this whole thing is who is Natalie Harp, Trump's assistant, who actually her brother was interviewed, I think it was by CBS or CNN, about her dedication and extreme loyalty that she has for the President Trump. So much so that she actually climbed into the trunk of an SUV to make sure she wasn't left behind at an event. So there is a lot going on. So before we jump into all of our regular topics, we are waiting for Miguel to come back. I get to talk about what I want to talk about until he tells me to stop. So one of the really crazy things that happened this past week was that Candace Owens, we all know who Candace Owens is. She has been the right Black woman on the right, kind of the voice of Black women on the right. She was a loyal Trump supporter. She's been a Republican. She's been on the Daily Wire. She had a very not popularized, she had a very big debate with Andrew Wilson, who's also a conservative manosphere guy from the Crucible. They had a huge debate discussing I don't want to say the killing, I don't know if we get demonetized or not, of Charlie Kirk, which actually that year anniversary is coming up. They had a huge debate. He actually ended up paying Candace $300,000 to do this debate. And to be honest, he paid $300,000 to get embarrassed in front of everybody. So if you happen to be on YouTube, I would definitely go check out that debate. It's you know, Candace Owens, lover or hater, she's really smart. Even you can admit that, right?
I guess. Hey everybody, I don't know what was going on with my camera because we've been sitting here talking this whole time. As soon as I go live, and then all of a sudden my camera just decides it wants to act up. So yeah, no. What did you talk about as I was trying to fix everything up so I know where we are in our conversation?
No, I was talking about everything we're going to be talking about on the show and the whole debate about, you know, who actually had the involvement in Charlie Kirk's assassination. That debate happened last Friday. It got a lot of views. I think they're at almost 11.3 million views on that debate.
So who was the debate with? Here's the other thing. Kia and I are in such different places in our lives now. Like, right? Like we love each other, but she still likes to do the whole what you call it, the crime, the first 48 stuff and all that stuff. And I'm like, Charlie Kirk to me is you know.
But how is that first 48 stuff? A political between two political podcasters. How is that first 48? It was supposed to actually be moderated by Joe Rogan, but Candace didn't want to go to Joe Rogan because she's 7 months pregnant. I swear this girl be pregnant all the time. Like, she's pregnant with her 5th child.
Really? Okay. Well, so you know what's interesting is that and hey everybody, Life of Circle, we see our folks who are joining us across our platforms. We didn't do our normal open because hey, technology. But so the people are joining us on both YouTube vertical and horizontal. Thank you for tuning in, coming in and out. We're on Instagram as well. What's going on? Hey Jay Bolton, I see you on IG. I see you, Andre Sias, over there on IG. Come on, hang out with us. Greer Webb, recent graduate in law school. What's up, my friend? Great to see you. So MS Now did a show that I caught bits of it. I think it was over the weekend. And they did this investigative thing. And I called you because I was just like, this whole Candace Owens, her space and her orbit. And they did this whole investigative journalist piece around. It's nuts. Like going from when she, going back, I don't follow her whole history, but I know for a while she was with PragerU, and then she was with Charlie Kirk, and then
Daily
she
Wire.
went out.
She was with PragerU. She has been with TPUSA. She stopped being with TPUSA kind of when she got pregnant and got married and had a baby. She kind of drifted away from wanting to travel so much. And that's when she switched to the Daily Wire. And she got fired from the Daily Wire because her views no longer
That's Nick
align.
Fuentes, right? And Daily Wire Nick Fuentes?
It's not Nick Fuentes.
Which one is it? Okay, they're all the same to me.
Cool. Except for one is anti-Semitic and the other one is actually Jewish. Just want to explain that difference between those two people.
I say that tongue in cheek, but there's a lot that goes on the right that's it's so deep into what you call the manosphere and the red pill, blue pill, and all this. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I love all of it, and that's
stuff like that you pay attention to.
About.
I do not give a damn about. I could care
love
less.
All of it.
But now it's like as I watched this show the other night, I was just like, it's levels to this, right? We're also worried about Trump and what Trump is doing, and there's a whole ecosystem that's being built around, like the way this show was produced, like a whole ecosystem and economy is being built around conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's death. And
she swears it's not a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry we're going so deep into it, but this whole situation, like you're talking about with Charlie Kirk, is making a lot of money for conservative podcasters. Whether they think it's not a conspiracy, they think it's a conspiracy, they're getting millions and millions of views per month. I mean, Candace's channel alone banks almost $75,000 a month.
Those numbers sound really, really low. There was
that's
others.
On a rough month for her. This recent one.
No, it wasn't in those 75,000s. It was in the millions. What this woman was talking about. She was saying some of the other space in the surrounding floor were getting that type of money. Say again.
Well, on a slow month, because this past Friday, again, with the whole thing with Andrew Wilson and her getting paid that $300,000, she made almost $1 million just in 1 week. She's still talking about this debate, and people are still tuning in. They're still downloading the episodes, the little clips, and all of it. And she's
who was she debating? Who was she debating?
Even if I tell you, you're not going to know. His name is Andrew Wilson.
Yeah,
he runs The Crucible. Here's the annoying part about Andrew Wilson. I'm very familiar with him. I've done a couple of videos on him. Is that he mainly debates OnlyFans girls on this channel called The Whatever Podcast. Very rarely do him and his wife debate educated women like Candace or educated white women. They don't do that. They debate OnlyFans models who make bad choices in life, and they call them stupid and they call them whores and this whole thing. And they think, and it gets them great content. It really does make them a lot of money. But when they have to go up against somebody smart, they usually end up looking really, really dumb. Every time.
A lot of us who call ourselves smart, because we all kind of think we're smart, right? And we get upset because we watch people who are not as quote unquote smart as some of us are go on the internet and make a lot of money.
Yes.
And we sit back and we're just like, but they're idiots. Are they? And it's because these people find a niche. They find a niche and they get into it. And they build audiences, and I'm a firm believer there's an audience for everything and everybody. It's just all about you finding it. And so, when I'm looking at why your mouth dropped, what's going on? So
I was gonna say, before we get so deep into this, we might as well just start diving into topics, because we could talk about this the entire show.
Right.
But
because you're talking about people who are debating each other, and you're talking about people I have no idea who they are, and then I'm hearing, like when they went down this rabbit hole around Candace Owens, they basically. The illustration when she was like the sun, and all the orbit of all the different types of bloggers and people who are making livings off of just eating off of her. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, Candace Owens is that big. To me, Candace Owens is, Candace Owens is Candace Owens. She did the grift thing, and now people says, well, she's not so bad. I'm just like, did y'all forget who Candace Owens?
She's iffy. Mm-hmm. She got on everybody's national radar and international radar when she sued, or she's getting sued by the French government basically for calling the First Lady of France a man.
That wasn't the first way she got famous, but I remember that.
Well, no, but that's what got her on an international stage. Sorry. Before that, was she on an international stage?
I don't know, because I don't pay any attention to her.
Okay. All right.
So let's jump into this thing. Where are we going first?
We are starting with Stephen A. Smith. We got to start with
Stephen A. Smith. Let me see if you sent me. I'm sure you did. What link did you send me about Stephen A. Smith? Let me see.
Well, I sent you the secondary link about him going on Hannity, but he was given the thumbs down award from the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists, and he was highly offended about it. And, they stated in segment Friday during its annual convention in Atlanta that Smith had a recurring public pattern of disparaging public commentary directed at prominent Black women across politics, sports, and media. The remarks come almost a year after the commentator came under heavy fire for remarks he made about Representative Jasmine Crockett, for which he has since apologized for. Others who received a thumbs down from the NABJ include Federal Communications Commissioner Chair Brendan Carr, Circle City Broadcasting CEO DeJuan McCoy, and the Washington Post. Now, he was very offended by this, and I get it. You were offended by it, but he has made a lot of disparaging remarks about prominent Black women. Mm-hmm. He's made it about Jasmine Crockett. I think he had some disparaging remarks he made about Angel Reese. I think he's made disparaging remarks about. I know he's made disparaging remarks about the woman who's a boxer whose name I can't think of right now, but he's very often making these comments about Black women.
And the nail in the coffin, I think is her name is.
Yeah, and the nail in the coffin was that after he was given the thumbs down award, he was upset about it. He decided to go on Hannity, because that always makes me better with the Black community, right?
Well, he don't give a damn about the Black community in this scenario, right? His thing was he's going to go to his Amen corner, and his Amen corner right now of value to him, because there's plenty of Black folks who still swear by Stephen A. I can't turn on ESPN hardly anymore because if he's there, it's annoying to me. It's funny. Our boy Keith Reed called me the other day too, because he was at NABJ, because NABJ was here in Atlanta. Stephen A. is like, I'm to the point now that I know he's got solid opinions about some things. Sometimes he's stirring the pot, but yeah, some of the stuff he said about Black women, because that's the audience that he's really bleeding into. He's in the middle. He's out there saying I can appeal to the sports crowd, which the sports crowd decides they want to be so involved in politics and especially with everything going on with the WNBA. And so, Stephen A. is, loudmouth New Yorker off top. So as a loudmouth New Yorker, he's going to be loved or hated just for the simple fact he's a loudmouth New Yorker.
Yeah, but how long before he just goes full Brandon Tatum? How long before he goes full Byron Donaldson? I feel like he's hanging on to the Black community by his fingernails.
Yeah, I don't think he has to do that. See the challenge. What I'm really starting to notice about who they're sending out, who they're rolling out now. What's the weird guy, the weird old guy? It's a weird old guy that everybody say he's on the right. He's a radio personality who talks real Southern and has got the jet black beard. And anyway, the ones that they're rolling out right now to tout the right, the conversation on the right, they're not the corny looking guys they were 10 years ago. Like Byron Donalds, if you don't know anything about Byron Donalds, he looks like a regular old Black dude. Nice shaped up beard, you know what I mean? He's I don't know. I'm saying
you don't think he looks corny?
I think Wesley Hunt looks corny. Right. So you look at Wesley Hunt.
And who was the guy with the dolphin teeth? I'm always making fun of the dolphin teeth, whose name I can't think of
Tim
right
Scott?
Now. Yeah,
Tim Scott. Corny. There's a certain stature, the way they present themselves.
They're all married to white women, all of them. There's not one Black conservative who is married to a Black woman.
That's not true. That's not true.
Pick one.
There's a Black woman conservative who has a Black conservative husband. Where is she out of? That's not true.
Land?
Huh?
Is she out of imaginary land? Did you make her
No,
up?
she's not. There's a sister out there. She's a very strong. She ran for. Anyway, it's not true. There are, but your point is taken, and but see, that's also always a pushback for me because my father's married to a beautiful melanated deficient woman. Love her to death.
I was gonna see how you were gonna word
that is my Alice. So I don't just ride with that just because but even like RG3 comes out, and RG3, and he jumps in the WNBA conversation, and he always wants to take the side of Caitlin Clark, and you guys don't know what you're talking about, and da da da. And I'm just saying, it's just.
But here's the reason why I made the white women comment is because they always tend to disparage black women.
That's the part. That's that. You can be
that's what I'm talking about.
You can be with whoever you want to be. Love who you want to love, but you don't have to go about trying to crap on black people, because it's profitable. But it is profitable to these people. But we just went through, since we've been on the show 2-3 weeks ago. What's my man's name? Ryan, the Nuke who just got fired from ESPN. And so who's got the Pivot podcast. So
yes.
So now here's what a lot of people don't pay attention to this stuff. ESPN lays off a lot of people every year. They do it all the time. Ryan Clark. What's up, Noob? They lay off a lot of people every year. So, but then the people they decided to keep, like Pat McAfee, who I just was like, when did Pat McAfee become this superstar? And so he's getting paid some $60 million. Stephen A. Smith's getting paid what he's getting paid. And so what they normally do is that they find people, they let people get to the point where they outkick the coverage. They become worth more than they're willing to pay. And then Ryan Clark, and then they try to disparage him along the way. They say, well, Ryan Clark got let go because of his political views and blah, 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 blah. Ryan Clark was the best football analyst they had on that network. And now he's without a job. And then you start to look at the situation and say, where else do you go? You don't have a lot of options. ESPN, ABC has got a large part of the market locked down. Fox News is there, but they have a much smaller market. So point being, Stephen A. is the guy who people forget. Stephen A. went through a round where he was at ESPN, he got fired, he went to Fox for a little while, and then he didn't have a job. And then by the time he came back to ESPN, he has been a company man since then. And so part of that being a company man is that he's out there with his New York energy, with his New York swag, and with his loud mouth and his journalism experience, which he obviously is. And so now he comes out, he says that in his rebuttal, it was supposedly, I guess he has brokered some deal where ESPN is going to dedicate a certain amount of money to HBCU sports, and he was the one who put that deal together, and da-da-da-da, and blah, 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 blah. If you did that, great. Winston-Salem State graduate. But that doesn't change the fact that you like crapping on black women.
And that's the problem. And he went on Hannity and made a comment that said we can all have difference of opinions. It's not about having a difference of opinions, but that every time a black woman does something that you don't like, you not only just disagree with her, you bash her. You go out of your way to disparage basically her existence. I mean, Jasmine Crockett, all she did was go into, the Senate hall, into the government, and, maybe have a little bit of
try to do a job.
I mean, well, she's doing her job, but maybe she has a little bit of an accent. Maybe she got an attitude with a couple of the women in there. But he never talked about the fact that what got Jasmine to that point, how she'll be talking calm, and then Nancy Mace will come out and say something wild, like beyond wild. Right. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out and say something wild, basically calling her ghetto in front of a room full of people for her just existing and speaking. And he's like, well, how dare we can't have women talking like this and blah, 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 blah. Angel Reese, even though I no one kill me, but I'm not a huge fan of Angel Reese. I feel like she has a little bit of an attitude issue that we need to work on. I also don't like Caitlin Clark.
You're not watching the games. You're not watching the games.
I also don't like Caitlin Clark. I'm not a fan of her either. You know who I like? The white girl with the little shorts who be getting everybody's face. I like her. I feel like I could go have a beer with her.
You talking about Mabry? Plays for Toronto?
She's on the Fever.
Really?
I think she's the one who started
you like Sophie Cunningham? You would like Sophie Cunningham. That makes so much sense. You would like Sophie Cunningham.
I don't know if she's out here saying crazy stuff, but she's the kind of girl like, hey, drop the kids off here. We're going to grab a drink. Yes, I'm there.
You would like Sophie Cunningham, but go ahead.
So that's the issue. And I like I said, I feel like Stephen A. Smith is now walking that line to, He's holding on to the Black community by the fingertips, by the nails, just dragging, just hoping that he can keep on that balance. And I don't think he will. I think he's going to go full right. He's going to have a show on Fox News within the next 3
because
years.
he don't really need the Black community. He doesn't need the bulk of the Black community to survive and to thrive. And that's the challenge that we have, that as we continue to have less and less control over these platforms, if for the very few, Stephen A being one, who's the major face of the biggest sports platform in the United States. I won't say the world because I don't live in the world, but the biggest sports platform in the United States. He's going to toe the line. He's going to toe the line, and it's made him very profitable. It's made him wealthy, and so he is going to ride that. All right, let's move on. So
speaking of the WNBA, we might as well just go into this whole this whole thing with Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce about them wanting to declare their draft for the WNBA. And this is infuriating to me for so many reasons. If you haven't heard the story, Enes Kanter Freedom is no longer challenging the WNBA's eligibility rules. He's now trying to turn that protest into a recruiting pitch. The former NBA center claimed Tuesday that he has spoken to 8 players about entering the 2027 WNBA draft if the league does not change or further clarify its eligibility standards. His argument is built around money. Now, listen, this is what he said. Now, listen to me very carefully. Kanter said on a video posted on X, the NBA G League pays players $45,000 a year, while the WNBA top players earn $1.4 million. Is that true?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm saying, but this is like the first year. This is the first year of the WNBA players getting $1 million contracts. Continue.
Gotcha. He then framed the gap as an incentive. These men could earn an extra $1,355 million a year by just identifying as a woman. Rules are rules. He also claims he's no longer alone. Kanter has not identified any of the 8 players, and none has publicly confirmed this account. So basically what happened is that they are him and one other guy, Royce, are annoyed or mad or whatever you want to call it, that the WNBA has not made a clear rule about only women being in the WNBA. It's not clear to them. They think, okay, well, since it's not clear and they like diversity, equity, inclusion, that means I can declare myself for the WNBA. And if they don't, I can sue them for discrimination. I think that neither one of these people give a damn about female sports. And that's the problem I have with all these women who bring the trans argument into this. You don't care about female sports. You don't care about women in sports. You don't care about girls' safety in gyms and locker rooms. You don't care about none of that. You only care that you have made up a new boogeyman for the right, and that is trans women, and you're just throwing them out everywhere like all women, regular cis women, are supposed to be so much like, oh my God, we're in so much danger, when we're not in danger. We're not. It's crap, and it's awful.
This is the biggest straw man argument for the right, and we fell for it, right? Yeah. Because here's the thing. Somebody like me, who's raising 2 young girls who are athletes, Layla just got tackled in the flag football game yesterday. Got a big old turf burn strawberry on her arm. She's mending up because the girl couldn't cover her.
Little princess.
Oh man, that girl's an athlete, man. But do I want to see my daughters having to play against people who spent parts of their lives, no matter how short or long it has been, as a biological man? Absolutely not. So then people say the response to that is, well, who's trying to get into the WNBA? They're creating an argument and trying to create somebody who doesn't do it. There's somebody in France right now who's trans, who's playing.
There's one person. There's one person.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I finish. It's one person, which leaves open this ridiculous conversation that Enes Kanter and Royce White and others are bringing up, because people's response to it is, oh, that'll never come to the W. How many trans people are trying to play in the WNBA? There will be someone like these guys who will eventually try to challenge what we're dealing with. Now, it's a draft. If people don't understand how the draft works, they can declare for the WNBA draft all they want. It doesn't mean any team is going to select them. This is all theater. But it puts us all in uncomfortable conversations, like you and I. Like right now, you were ready to get at me about this, And it's one of those things where any angst that I have is not about doing anything or disrespecting the existence of someone who is trans. I'm defending, in my mind, the conversation of ever having someone trans playing against my daughters who work their behinds off to get wherever they're going to be. And then have to deal with someone who physically they could not compete with because of the physical nature of a man.
And then my argument is that there are so many bigger issues going on with America and Americans.
Absolutely.
That we are so concerned about. Let's talk about how many trans athletes, because they don't care about female to male athletes. They don't care about none of them. They only care about male to female athletes. Mm-hmm. How many male to female athletes are playing right now in high school sports, middle school sports, elementary school sports? Across the entire United States. Less than 50 of these people are playing in high school, middle school sports. Less than 50. In college, it's way less than that. And you can look those numbers up. It's way less than that. And we're making this huge argument like we have girls who are on the court every day with trans women and they're losing and no one cares when this is not happening.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
And trans women have there could be swaths of trans women coming into sports at this point. There could be. The past 2 years, there's been swaths of trans women coming like, oh, I'm going to go play this sport for, go play basketball or go play softball or any of those things. It's just not happening to the point where any woman like the Egyptian, was she Egyptian or Afghani?
Ooh.
The boxer who everybody kept saying was trans. And in reality, she was not trans. She was in a country where it's illegal to be trans. And they're like, oh, that's a man. That's a man. This girl lost to a man. Look at what happened. And she's like, no, I'm just a really unattractive woman. That's just my lot in life. That's not my fault.
So going back to the beginning of my diatribe here, right? Mm-hmm. It's the straw man argument has you and I, who largely agree on this issue, finding ways in the conversation to disagree. And that was the goal, right? Because if they want to start a league for trans folks in sports, then do that. I'm good with that. If that's what needs to happen. What I don't want, going back to my example I just talked about Layla playing flag football. Flag football is supposed to be no tackle football. Part of the reason why I'm always concerned about my girls playing flag football because primarily they play basketball. They play flag football to stay in shape. But then you've got 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls. Some of them, there's probably a third of them that are trained athletes. They play summer ball or spring ball. They do other things. And then you got some girls who this is the first time they really get into athletics. And so they're clumsy. And then if you start beating them.
This is big for no reason out there just running around. They're not trained. And then when you start beating them, then they get mad. And then they start fouling you and doing things that are not a part of the sport. Now let's juxtapose that to someone who may be trans and they're 11, 12 years old and they get angry or they get upset, but physically they're much stronger because they are, and so you're dealing with that, right? And so if that is a league that needs to be a lane that needs to be created, then create that lane. But people, especially when you got families that are spending thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours and dedicated to these sports and to becoming great athletes, and then you have to compete against someone who might be 15 and spent 9 years of their lives saying that they were a boy and now they're transitioning. It's just not fair. Yeah. It's not fair. And so, but nobody wants to talk about this. They putting this conversation in front of all of us and making us all deal with this stuff for why. And yeah, I know grammatically that wasn't correct. I'll say it again. For why? To distract. All right, let's move to our next topic that it's been big this week, and that is the fact that we are in election season, and it has been a very interesting race. And the one thing that can always be guaranteed right now is that Trump candidates are not what people want. The only one apparently to succeed is Byron Donaldson in Florida. The other 10 that he backed have all...
Isn't it just Byron Donaldson, not son? You keep saying son. It's just Byron Donaldson.
Is it Byron Donaldson? I'm so used to saying that Ryan... What does it say it again? Byron...
His name is Byron Donalds. No son.
Byron Donaldson. I keep saying...
It's not son. Not Donaldson. Donalds.
Byron Donalds.
Same thing. Same problem you had with saying Kamala Harris.
I know. Byron Donalds.
And he's going, and he potentially is going to be your governor. So let's talk about that. Miss Florida resident. Miss Florida resident.
I don't want to.
How are we in a place right now where Byron Donalds could potentially be your Republican governor, but Andrew Gillum, anyway, different conversation.
That is a whole different conversation. Because one's just annoying and ignorant, the other one actually might be a crackhead. So that's kind of different.
Is he back on this podcast yet? Or is he back on that podcast?
I don't think he's coming back. He's in rehab. He entered rehab.
But let's talk about Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds in the state of Florida and how they've gotten to the point now. I guess is that much power in kissing Donald Trump's ass, huh?
In Florida, it is. I mean, Florida is a Trump stronghold. I mean, yes, for smaller races, Senate, congressman races. Yeah, they're going against Trump candidates, but like this big race to basically control the state. They want Byron, and Byron has been loyal to Trump like 10 toes down since his first election, I want to say. Definitely his second election, but his first election I'm not sure about. But here's the thing, he's going up against a white man, and that's one thing that I don't want to say it, but
say it. But he's a white man who's a Democrat.
He's a white man, a Democrat, but if people had to choose between the black man who's a Republican and aligns with their values and the white guy, I thought they're going to choose a white guy. Even Mama Blanche believes that. They're like, oh, but he's white, so it's fine. Like,
let's see. Let's see. And so what are they saying that what's his name? Your governor, what's his name? Who I ignore because I don't live in Florida. I don't have to. What's his name?
Too short.
Too short.
Man in heels, Puss in Boots.
Oh God!
We have a bunch of nicknames.
What's his damn name? What's the man's name? Governor DeSantis. There you go. DeSantis. What is he? So what are y'all hearing his plans are? Is he gonna run for president? What is he doing?
I don't know what his plans are. I heard originally that he was starting to try to form like an exploratory committee to see. I don't think that came from anywhere. There have been rumors that he's going to be JD Vance's running mate. I mean, that's a very pasty white ticket, not in a racist way, but in a who cares way.
I could definitely see that. So what does that leave Marco Rubio? Who's going to run with Marco? Yeah, absolutely. JD Vance and Ron DeSantis, those two, yes, I can absolutely see them on a ticket together.
I think it should be JD Vance and Marco Rubio.
No, they've got them competing against each other. No, they're not. They're going to be on two separate. At minimum, they're going to go through the primary process and talk crap about each other for at least 6 months.
When we get to this point in the primary, I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. Because I know one thing you have said to me for the past 9 months, that people aren't turning against Trump and people are staying on the bandwagon. People are turning against Trump. They are turning against him. I know you don't go on Twitter anymore, and I know that's not a barometer for politics, even though it kind of is a way because Trump has made it. He has put everyday Americans into such a precarious situation that they blame him. I mean, we have factories closing. We had there was another beef plant that closed, and these small towns, these red towns, where everybody in the town works at the factory and works at the warehouse, whatever. When those things shut down, it ruins and kills the city. Gas prices are crazy.
Trump does not care.
He doesn't care.
They got electric gloves now to shock people. They wrote up on you like. But the
American people are starting to care.
This is like real life Hunger Games. Oh my God.
No, that's for how what? For how what? How what? I already knew where you were going.
You know where I was going. Where's the link? Okay. Where's the link? I hope you dropped it over here.
No, you have it.
I don't have it right now. Find it. Give it to me. So
I bet you if I type in Hunger Games, it'll come up. I bet you if I type in Hunger Games,
I bet you're probably right. So,
Hunger Games.
When we look at what's going on, and the whole thing about, I was asked a question about, what do you think about democratic socialism? I don't.
Wait, Hunger Games, MAGA style. That's what the article is called.
I don't think anything about the Democratic Socialist thing, but I think about Mamdani, and he seems like he's getting stuff done in New York. The situation with
Michigan.
in Michigan, which, oh my God, this ad.
Abdul El Said.
I've got to show this ad.
Oh yay! Let's watch my favorite commercial ever. Yes, this is the best commercial.
So,
for those who are not familiar, Abdul El Said is running for governor of Michigan. He's a very down to earth candidate, but he's Muslim. He's Egyptian Muslim.
He's not running for governor. He's running for Senate.
Excuse me, running for Senate. He's Egyptian Muslim, and people have been purposely not just saying Abdul El Said, his name, but also saying his full name. His full name is Abdul Raham Mohammed El Said. So people are saying the whole thing because it sounds like terrorism. It sounds like a terrorist. So he decided to
Hussein Obama, right?
So he decided to do a commercial. Probably one of the best plays I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and play the commercial.
Oh, why no audio's not playing? Let me see.
Wait, you gotta rewind it.
He always wanted to help people.
He got all those kids' glasses.
Eliminated medical debt. He buys us groceries every week. He knows what things cost.
In this video that we're showing here, this is an ad that he just started running, and in it, this is his grandmother. His grandmother basically said, they talk about who raised him, and she was like, she looks like the typical Trump supporter.
We helped raise him.
She helped raise him.
He became a doctor.
And so
he always wanted to help people.
He got all those kids' glasses.
Eliminated medical debt. He buys us groceries every week. He knows what things cost.
Now he's running around with Bernie Sanders trying to change politics.
We love him, and so will you.
Can you hear me?
I'm Abdul El Sayed, and I approve the heck out of this message.
Language. Where did Abdul...
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
That's interesting, because I wasn't hearing the commercial at all. That's weird. Okay.
It was loud and clear, but what you basically saw was his grandparents, who, when I look at Wikipedia page, his dad remarried to a white woman, and this white couple helped raise him and love him, and they're in the commercial. But it starts off as the old white people are, who is this man, and he's gonna hurt us, and they're like, yeah, we're his grandparents, yay, like we've got pictures, we love him, he's so smart, he's doing this, he's running around with Bernie Sanders. It's a fantastic commercial, and it shows how ridiculous people's fears are, because this man, who was born in the States,
he's an American. We get into this nonsense about who is American and who is not American and all of this nonsense, and no one ever brings that garbage up except for these fake patriots who always want to act like they can determine who is American, who is not. They are holding on by a thread,
and they think people are stupid, the far right and the right, and this is why I get annoyed as a Republican, you guys know this already, is that they think people are dumb now, because CNN, MSNBC all say, why do you keep using his whole name like that? Like, are you purposely trying to scare people?
The question? It's the same reason they did it with Barack Hussein Obama. This isn't.
But they bring that up too. They're like, it's the same thing Donald Trump do. Are you using that playbook of using the whole name? And of course, their whole thing is like, oh, well, that's his name. That's his name. That's his name. You all are losing voters because you think they're stupid. That's the problem. Stop thinking your voters are so stupid they'll fall for this crap.
Well, they are. Well, let's not act like they're not falling for this crap.
Not as much as they used to. Not as many as they used to. You have to concede to that.
I hear you. Until we get to January, what year will it be? 2029. January 2029. My middle baby will be a senior in high school. Until we see him walk out of that place, all this stuff to me is up for debate. All this stuff is up for me because I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying to myself, that ballroom is going to be a bunker. Like, all the work he's doing at that White House is so he can try to fortify himself and not leave. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I do.
I don't have a thought on that. I mean, I don't.
And so he's not going quietly. There's no doubt that he is not going quietly. And so it's going to start with these midterm elections. We're going to see if they even let these midterm elections do what they're going to do. We'll see. We'll see, because he's getting ready to take a little bit of a drubbing. But I really believe, when I say the dark money, when they all of a sudden out the blue, Democratic socialism is the big phrase that's being used on the left, right? And I'm like, where did that come from? And why is it so prominent? And I really believe that dark money is pushing that to the forefront because they really feel like it's another boogeyman that they can sell against, that Republicans can sell against, right? And so we'll see how it goes. All this stuff is all up for interpretation to me nowadays. It really is.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And I just want to bring up one last person that I know you don't listen to, but has become very prominent, and that's, Officer Tatum. He's been very forefront with the whole Nolan Wells case, the young man who died after his friends, took his phone and left him. He's actually interviewed the 4 white boys and, trying to make it seem like they're innocent in this whole situation. It's just so many Black conservatives out there who are just making us look bad. And I still say us because I am still a Republican. I still believe in Republican values, and these people who are coming out don't believe in Republican values.
Have you
they
ever voted
believe
for a
in the
Democrat?
love of Trump.
Have you ever voted for a Democrat?
Once.
And in your entire 22 years of living, you voted for one Democrat.
Oh, no. That's not true. I did not vote for Trump, and I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Hillary, and I did not vote for him. I will never vote for Trump. I don't care what happens. So I voted for a Democrat 3 times.
Shed G, what's up, Playboy?
Why is he back? Why is he
Shed is always invited to the party. All the time. Shed is always invited to the party. Shed got onto a nice platform in Dallas. He doing this thing. You told me you got a budget now.
You can't see. Look, Shed, I got a tree.
She got a tree, and it moves like it's about to. You know how what was them little them plants used to eat people? Her don't be moving around like it's about to bite her. But so you said you voted for did you vote for Kamala? Did you vote for Kamala Harris?
I did.
Okay.
I did vote for Kamala. I voted for Obama the first time. I did not vote for him the second time. I voted Republican the second time.
Who was he running? You voted for? Well, that was the Utah guy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then and don't let Paul Ryan run. I'm gonna be out here with a Paul Ryan
ain't
shirt.
think about none of y'all. Paul Ryan then disappeared into the sun. You know what's funny? You talk about Wisconsin.
Paul Ryan wrapped car.
Man, so are you watching Are you paying attention to what's going on in Wisconsin? Because Wisconsin right now, I had to call on my people in Wisconsin because I say, hold on.
You have people in Wisconsin?
Trey is from Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yes.
Sorry,
got a whole family in Wisconsin. But
sorry about that.
Yeah, yes, but when it came down to the Republican and the Democratic primary last week, the 2 finalists was a Democratic looked like she's either Native or Asian woman who was the Democratic Socialist candidate, and then there was a Black candidate, and the Democratic Socialists only lost to the Black candidate by like a half a point. And the Black candidate is going to go against this white guy for governor of Wisconsin. And I was joking. I said, everything I saw with him, I was like, hold on, this is what y'all Wisconsin is presenting. I said, guy didn't have a suit on. He didn't look like he looked governor material at all. But I don't know. But that's me in Georgia talking about what's going on in Wisconsin. And of course, I have people who are in the space, and they sent me. We laughed about it, but well, I said to myself,
Fetterman. Has John Fetterman? I think look at John Fetterman. Hasn't he worn a suit twice? Maybe twice.
But they can do that. They can do that.
True.
Right. And so, but it's happening in a lot of places. You've got what we're also understanding over the years, and I think to me it really started a lot with Obama, with President Obama, is that we really realize now how much these roles as governor and all these different roles, they don't have as much power as we think they do. Especially in this day and age where you have people who have so much money. They're really being controlled by folks who have the resources, but we'll see how things go. You know, the situation here in Georgia, you have a billionaire who's never held office versus Keisha Lance Bottoms. You got a white man, billionaire, versus somebody who grew up in Atlanta, who was one time a mayor, who Black folks trying to find different ways to tear her down, but at the same time, she refuses to meet with certain Black people in town. And so then there's that. Doesn't want to meet with the Black business community. There's that. And so you got, as that number continues to widen with Black men who say, well, if you don't want to talk to us, then, I know this guy over here is interesting, but hey, my taxes are lower when Republicans are governor. So And Brian Kemp has done, a job here in Atlanta.
Your taxes are lower and everything else is higher.
Say again?
Your taxes are lower. Your taxes are lower, but everything else is higher.
But
everything else is higher.
That's we are in a real precarious time in our world right now. So anyway, all right, I'm about to hit us with the boom.
All right, guys. It's that time. It's How What. And Miguel is very excited to talk about the story. So, the I don't even know what to call it, event that President Trump has personally directed has been a celebration of his very particular version of America. He threw a huge event. Better than the UFC fight on the White House lawn. Better than his Great American State Fair, his world record fireworks on July 4th. He has now come up with basically the Hunger Games. Organizers convened 120 teenagers from across the country, and they're telling the next generation of leaders, competitors, and champions, but also whoever happened to respond to an online request for personal essays and video entries at a high school in Geneva, Ohio, population over 5,924, roughly 45 miles northeast of downtown Cleveland, for 3 days. Class staples such as a ball toss, long jumps, tug of war, dodgeball, and an arcade-style basketball game called Victory Hoops. The field was narrowed to 8 contestants who competed before the president on Tuesday night, clambering through a Ninja Warrior-style obstacle course wearing red, white, and blue. One boy and one girl were crowned champions, and each was given a $125,000 scholarship. Now, this will all be condensed in a 1-hour special that's going to air on ABC. This is the Hunger Games, ladies and gentlemen. That is what this is.
It's not even a Hunger Game. This ain't no damn Hunger Games. It's the White Games.
Okay. There was not one brown child.
They told him there was 2 teenagers, 2 high school athletes from every state were able to compete. And you telling me that these are the best athletes that you could find in every state in America?
Look at that.
Come on, man. Come on. And so, come on, man. And we even got the dance from them. We even got the dance. And so you look at this stuff and you say to myself, like, they're working, and there's other things that are going with, there's other things that are going on right now in sports. Like, there's this league of but it's baseball teams that are playing, and it's former minor league baseball players and other folks who their careers are over, kind of like what Ice Cube has done with the Big Three, except they're doing it for baseball. And so then you have, there's so many other sports that are being created. And I always tell people always say about what's talent. Who's talented? If people want to watch you spin yarn, and millions of people will watch you spin yarn, there's an entertainment value to it. And so these folks are saying, we're going to build a market and audience around who we want to see. And so as we got all these great athletes, black athletes running track and doing all the things that they did, because I watched it. It was just like, what was that? It's like a gladiator. It wasn't even gladiators, because they weren't even really competing against each other, right? And so they're doing dodgeball. There was this one video I saw. This one kid. This kid.
It looked like a Temu version of the Combine. That's what it looked like.
It was so
like the NFL
bad.
Combine, like a Temu version of that.
It was so bad. But I said to myself, this is where we are. And so as we know, we've got all these tremendous athletes that are doing great things all over the place. I am so locked into the WNBA right now. And you got all these women that are doing amazing things and playing very well. And then, of course, that has turned into racial tension, right? Because it's all about Caitlin Clark being the best thing since sliced bread, even though she turns the ball over as much as she makes assists. But it's a market for it. There's a market for it. Your girl, Caitlin, your girl, Sophie Cunningham, who averages 8 points a game, but she gets her own signature shoes. Stop it.
First of all, I said she looks like a mom I'd be in car line with. It's
Absolutely.
not about her playing sports.
But you make an extremely valid point. The fact that Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham look like soccer moms.
Not Caitlin. Caitlin does not look like a soccer mom. I'm not sure what she looks like, but it's not a soccer mom. It's
whatever. Say a lot of folks.
She looks
believe
like
it.
she looks like a claymation character. Remember Celebrity Deathmatch? That claymation. She looks like a claymation character to me.
And
Sorry.
well, but it's the whole movement around her being the best thing since sliced bread I'm really ready for the playoffs, but that's the competition side of it. The marketing side of it.
Yes, Sophie Cunningham is marketable because she looks like the mom who's gonna hop out the car with her kids, and next thing you know, she's hooping it up with the other kids on the court and getting back in her minivan. It's marketable. Even to me, it's
sure,
like,
it's
marketable.
marketable.
That's a girl to go kick it with.
Sure, it's marketable, but when it comes down to the fact that when black women act the way Sophie Cunningham acts, they're called thugs, they're called unsportsmanlike. She's called an enforcer. She's like you said, you like her. She's the one that gets out the car with her jug. What's that?
Stanley Cup.
The Stanley Cup, and who knows what's in her Stanley Cup, right? And that's funny, right? Black women do it in this game, and all of a sudden, it's viewed a different way. It's where we are, man. It's where we are. It sucks. It sucks, but they are trying their darndest. So don't get me wrong. We're out here in these basketball streets right about now. We're playing a lot of girls. That a lot of girls that are great, that are, whether they be black, white, Hispanic, Asian, they're out here hooping, they're playing basketball. And so, but in the men's game it's a little bit of changes going, but it's still primarily black men. And this women's game is primarily black women, but it's changing. There's even a movement afoot where a lot of biracial kids that are playing sports now, right? And so a lot of them, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, no, you say it like it's some phenomenon. Is it like a new thing?
I think what has happened actually, I think it's happened. We've seen a lot more in the last 15 years, because what happens with a lot of, especially when you start talking about kids of former athletes, college and pro athletes.
Oh yeah,
right. They're black athletes that are marrying white women. So now they're having,
because like Scottie Pippen's kids. All of them are playing. I think one of them's actually in the WNBA.
No, I don't know about the W. I know he was in the NBA.
Not WNBA.
I don't know about any daughters he has in the NBA. He's got a son in the NBA.
The daughter
Doc
plays
Rivers.
Professional volleyball.
Huh?
The daughter plays professional volleyball.
So so what you have is that you got these athletes. Scottie Pippen, who's 6, who said something nutty. I saw online today about him. If you think people would choose you or LeBron James in the draft, who would they take first? And he was like, I don't know. I got 6 championships. Scotty,
They're
go
also
sit
a
down.
million years old, and
Go
nobody
down,
likes
bro.
you.
So anyway, but it's interesting. It's real interesting what is happening right now, and in that whole Patriot Games thing. When it's all said and done. But
if they do another one, we need to go just to laugh. Just to laugh.
I'm not going there. They people probably hang me from a tree. I'll be trolling them kids so bad. Like, man, I'm about to call the house. We about to bring a 5 out here. We about to run y'all about the gym. Get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. I got some 6'9"ers over here that's about to run this little obstacle course. I got this little girl right here about to run a 10-5 and 100. Against
and there were black kids there, by the way. People kept saying there was no black kids there.
Very few. And if they were there, the cameras were not on them.
There were 6. There were 6.
You can name them. There were 6. So
Jamal,
if they had now I want you to run that back. If there were 2 kids per state in an athletic competition, somehow Trump managed to have 94 white kids and 6 black kids in an athletic
and no black
competition.
girls. There were no black girls. It was just black boys. It was no black girls on the dais. When I looked at the picture, it was all black boys who were there.
An athletic competition. The Patriot Games in 2026 managed to have 94 kids that were not black and 6 black kids in an athletic competition.
You know what it looked like? It looked like what would happen if like all the black people decided, hey, we are actually going to go back to Africa and y'all are on y'all own. That's what it looked like if that's the future. What's
up, Cuzzo? My man Red, his son, great Jaden Epps, played for Illinois, Georgetown, and finished up at where did he finish up? Mississippi State. Great basketball player. One of my younger cousins. So appreciate you tuning in, cuz. But no, perfect example. Jaden was, yeah, he could drop. Jaden was a Division I, all the athlete And you gonna sit up and tell me out of 100 athletes you gonna pick to be in the Patriot Games, you found 6 black children, all boys. Moving on. What are you watching?
Nothing. There's nothing. There's not shit on TV. I can cuss now because of the end of the episode. There's not anything on TV. The fact that my husband who's listening to this right now can sit on the couch until wee hours in the morning watching TV. Me and my mom are like, what are you watching? There's nothing on TV right now. There's not one thing on TV right now. Name one thing you're watching that's like a new thing. One.
Lioness just premiered a new season. You're not watching Lioness?
I don't watch that. But that is something.
You don't watch Lioness?
I don't watch Lioness. Let me just rephrase
God, it's
that.
so good.
The reason why I don't watch Lioness is because I need to get caught up from the beginning. I'm not about to start this season and be like, oh, I'm good. I have to watch everything beforehand. But I do know it's a very good show. I do know it has a stacked cast.
Good show.
So I know
cast.
it's a good show. This is not like the crap you watch on the Stars Network. So there's that.
Here you go. There you go.
Always.
As you try to clown the Stars Network, as Raising Kanan just finished up a great 5-year run.
Thank God. I don't have to hear about it anymore.
Whatever. You need to
I don't have to hear about it. I am looking forward to you and your friends' rewatch podcast that'll be airing on the Life Full Circle Radio. You guys rewatch the episode and talk about it.
I was going to say, but we are trying, and we and Trey were talking about this other night. I am trying to keep up with that doggone House of Dragons. I'm about to let that thing go, man. I can't.
Oh yeah, I watch it, but I'm not really paying attention to it. It's too much and not enough, if that makes sense for people who are watching it. It's a lot going on, but they ain't talking about nothing. Like the first 2 seasons were good, and this season I was like, okay, cool. All right,
it's too hard to keep up with. Where's the incest? Who's the mama? Who's the daddy? Who's the kid?
Wait, not where's the incest?
It's like, and then all the names and all the then we try to keep it up with. Okay, those are all the blonde ones. So all the blonde ones are the, what are they? The Venerians, and then then you got the black blonde ones, and then we forget that the dude who's the real badass, his black wife got burnt up a couple seasons ago, so then you got the other black kids, and then one of the black kids from his tree started kissing on the other black kid. I said, is that an incestual relationship? I don't remember.
It is, because she's now in love with the older brother. The younger brother is in love with her. So that's about to be some conflict. They don't know
But see, when they was kissing, I thought that they was related. I thought they was brother and sister.
Are related.
I forgot. How?
Oh my God.
By blood? By blood?
I'm so sorry. I'm going to explain this really quickly. Big Targaryen with the long blonde dreads.
The black
Lord
dude,
of the
yeah.
Thieves.
Right.
Alan is in the other black one who's a dragon rider. Those are his illegitimate sons.
Yes, I know that.
His daughter who died, is the 2 girls' mother. So that means she's making out with her uncle, and her other uncle is in love with her.
See, that's why I ain't watching that mess no more. Can't keep up with it. It's too much. It's too much, man.
And even if you had a family tree map, it's just like a big circle.
It's like ever since what was the first one? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, it kept us enthralled for years and years and years.
But they were light on the incest. It was just a couple of people.
Light on the incest. So basically in House of Dragons, they spent so much money on the CG and spent so much money on the dragons and stuff. They said, we can't have too many more casts. So y'all gonna have to start doing each other.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But I mean, that's it. I can't think of anything else new that's actually
There's a
worth
show
watching.
that was on a couple of years ago. I think it was called like Diaria from Detroit or something. It's on.
Diaria from Detroit, yeah.
It just came back on, and like a couple of years ago, it caught my attention. I'm trying to watch it now, and I'm like, the whole dialogue and the way I'm just like, maybe I'm starting it too late at night, because I'm just like, let me turn this off.
It's basically Black Veronica Mars. Remember the show Veronica Mars?
Absolutely not.
I don't know why I say stuff to you. I don't know why.
Absolutely
sorry. I
not.
apologize. My bad. I did go to the movie theater to see the new Spider-Man. I liked it.
We did. I took the girls. My Saran was in town. We went to go see Spider-Man. Yes.
My mother liked it. My aunt, Reverend Lena Graham.
Okay.
Reverend Lena Graham, who's a diehard Marvel fan, thought it was the worst Spider-Man she's ever seen. So, yeah.
But see, what they're doing now is that they're transitioning. This stuff is starting to not be for our generation, right? They're bringing in new.
I'm not in your generation. Don't do that. Don't let me in with you. Don't do that. How dare you?
You are not a baby. Stop.
Don't do that.
You are an old millennial.
I'm not in your group,
You
though.
right there on the cusp of a Gen X. Stop it. Point being, they ain't making it for you. They making it for these youngins. Whereas Zendaya is the old head. They making it for our kids. They introducing new Storms and new. I'm waiting to see who they're gonna introduce as being the new Wolverine. Right? We'll see. So, and then the whole thing with the trailer that dropped, I'm not really. I need somebody, some comic book nerd, to explain to me what I'm getting ready to see with Doomsday coming up in.
You know he's about to bust through this door like Rambo and explain it all to you, right? Just give it a second. He's gonna come flying through here. Like, let me explain it to you. It's supposed to be good. I do feel like Disney missed a huge opportunity by hiding that it's Robert Downey Jr. in the film. I think that would have been a lot.
Hide that. They announced that.
No. They should have. They should have.
They did announce that.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. They should not have announced it.
Oh, they shouldn't have announced it.
They should have stayed hidden to make it a bigger movie.
Yeah, they gotta sell it. Yeah.
And I want to see who all's coming back, because a lot of the people who were just like, I'm done with that character, I'm not coming back, because Gwyneth Paltrow's not coming back. I don't think Scarlett Johansson's coming back. I think it's just going to be maybe a lot of the guys we know who are coming. I don't. The one who put the Scarlet Witch, she's not coming back. So we'll see.
Well, they said that supposedly these films with Doctor Doom is going to be about killing off all those characters and moving on to the X-Men focus, whatever that means. Right?
I don't know. They did, on a better note, really quick, they did announce the new Black Panther. Mm-hmm. The actor who's going to play.
What do you think about that? Chadwick. What do you think about that? And then we're going to talk about Children, Blood and Bone before we get up out of here. I don't.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I'm going to see the movie, but me and my mom are actually like reading the book, and just to prove that I'm actually reading the book, here it is. This is the book. I'm reading it. YA reading is really weird. Reading YA books is bizarre, but we're doing it anyway.
YA reading? What is that? What does that mean?
Young adult, where the way stuff is written, it's a little young. But I felt like Dansom Idris would have made a better Black Panther. But now, after watching the Children of Blood and Bone, I can see you can't do both. You can't have him as this major character in this book he's already signed up for, and have him as Black Panther. It's just not going to work. Right. But I am glad they got rid of Ballerina Black Panther, because I hated her. I hated the fact that the sister was Black Panther. That whole thing, that made me mad. I was ready to fight. That was awful.
Ballerina Black Panther. She's still going to be in it, though. She's not going to.
Great. Be in it. I love it. Be in it. Be the sister. Be smart. Be a scientist. Hope Ironheart comes back in it. I hope Angela Bassett ain't coming back. Maybe it's a spirit. But she cannot be Black Panther. She can't. That was awful.
But here's the thing. He about to say inside.
Are they bringing back Mexican Black Panther? Is he coming back too? Is he going
to be? I've already seen him in the trailer for Doomsday. They're gonna have everybody up in that joint.
How much is that movie gonna cost?
A lot, because they called themselves trying to save the franchise. Everybody's in that flick. I've seen X-Men. I've seen the X-Men's nemesis. What is his name? The dude with the brain. Call your husband. So you see, I've seen Black Panther. I've seen all of them. And you haven't seen the trailer? They're bringing back Captain America, which he's supposed to be.
Yeah, I saw that. The only person they're not bringing back, that they need to bring back, because this was dumb, is Jonathan Majors. They need to stop this whole thing about kicking him out. What he did was not worth all of this, and bring him back, and please finish the Kang Dynasty. That was supposed to be. I could go on about this, but it's my best time.
So Jonathan Majors got kicked out the franchise for allegedly having a confrontation with that white woman. My man done died as Iron Man. What's his name? Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. died as Iron Man. They said, we got to bring you back as another character. And this dude went through a whole drug series where he was out of the business for 10 years as a drug addict. The rules ain't the same, baby. They're just not. They're not. It is what it is.
All right. Well, that's our show.
Great having being back on the show. You see my new. So Saran went to a record store in Philly and brought me back. Hold on. My dad's soul poster. So dope.
She's a good daughter. She's a good baby girl.
She's a wonderful daughter. I love all my kids. Love my wife. Love them. So she said she came down to see the same. She surprised us a couple weeks ago and she brought that with her. All right, y'all. Peace and a bye-bye.